My pleasure to have you here. So, you ready?
Yeah, born ready. Let's go.
Let's go. Yes! Hey, folks, I'm Alex Marks, and this is Alex Marks Podcast. Today, my pleasure to have Leonos Balmer, who is Employer Brand Program Manager at LinkedIn. And we're going to talk about Beyond the Profile, Mastering Careers and Connections on LinkedIn. Leon, welcome to Alex Marks Podcast. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thanks,
And
man.
yeah, please introduce yourself.
Thanks. A pleasure. Let me adjust. I put this camera a little bit further because it's too close to my face. Oh, folks, disclaimer that I'm right here on the dot, so I didn't give Alex time to prepare or anything. So apologies for that, but that's the life of a real parent. But I'm glad that we are here today. And yeah, Leon, originally from Brazil, living in Ireland for the past 13 years and had multiple and different roles in Ireland, the usual service industry until I jumped into HR, and that's what led me to be a employer brand recruitment marketing program manager for LinkedIn today. So my job and my role today is advertise LinkedIn as a great place to work, a place where talent from all sorts of background can succeed and thrive. And that's what I do from 9 to 5. I also have a podcast where I chat to inspiring people around the globe, such as you, called Leon the Professionals. And I do mentorship sometimes, career mentorship, marketing mentorship, and a full-time dad and husband. That's me in a nutshell.
Wow, there's a lot of things. Thank you. You see how it's special to have people like that. People
Thank
like us, normal, busy with so many things. I'm impressed actually with your background, Leo. It's very impressive when I've seen your LinkedIn, and everything that you've done
you.
as a
Yeah.
professional. And also, I'm following Instagram, and I see that you have your daughter, and
Son.
a son. Sorry, I
Uh,
couldn't see
and
when we
the
started
reason that you don't know is because I don't.
show.
I've been taking Instagram really professionally these days. So unless you're
Sure.
my close friends, you wouldn't see my family. So sorry, folks, if you're
Oh,
not.
no, no, no. Actually, I've seen some stories there. It's very impressive in the way how you advertise, how you show up that everything that you do professionally with your connections. I got impressed with your podcast. I listened to the episode with Mariana.
Yeah.
Now, recently actually uploaded a new one, right? Uh,
Uh, as of
Numbers.
yesterday, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. So it's with a data analyst specialist. It was a hard episode to run, to be honest. Very smart person, and it
Yeah.
wasn't my best performance as a host, I have to say. But you live and learn.
Oh, that's true. Since last year, actually, when I stopped recording, episodes, that's the first time I'm coming back.
Oh,
So we are
nice.
the first guest since that time. Unfortunately, I had health issues that I had to stop.
Oh,
But yeah, but I'm happy, that I'm coming back now. So thank you for accepting the invitation, and thanks also for share your time, which is very, as I see, scarce.
it is. It is. I actually have a mentorship session after this as well, and so I need a virtual assistant. That's what I need.
Tell us, you've been transitioning in the past. I see that you've been here more than 10 years, right? In,
Yeah,
in Ireland,
13
30.
years.
Oh, wow. How was transitioning, to the international market, and how that was challenging for you? Can you tell, like, your personal experience, and also if using LinkedIn helped you as a bridge, to fill up this gap and establish yourself here, in the market?
Sorry, I'm a video freak, so it has to be nice and centered. So, okay, so my story is probably very similar to a lot of stories of expats and Brazilians that come to Ireland, in a sense that I came to study English, worked in the service industry for a good while, then on a journey of deciding what I wanted to do, because I have a law degree back home and I didn't want to work with law. I was after a couple of years here, when I realized that Europe, at least, or Ireland, was the place that I was going to stay and live, I started to pursue something or a career that could bring me back to the corporate world. That was my plan, and I decided it to be HR, because at the time I thought that I was working the service industry. You start thinking that you are good with people, and I really enjoy that aspect of working a fast-paced environment. So I was like, okay, let's go with HR. I in general get on with folks. I like people. People usually like me. I'm easygoing. Let's go with HR. So I decided to do a course in coaching and consulting in NCI, National College of Ireland, 3 months diploma. And there I started to connect with different HR folks, and I started to learn about the HR industry. So connecting with learning development professionals, HR, HRBP, everyone was doing that course. And then I was like, oh, this is really interesting. HR is what I want to do for good. So with that information in hand, I went back to my first manager in Ireland, called Fiona Tunnen. She is the head of HR of Bujum. It's a Mexican restaurant chain here in Ireland. And I told her about my idea. I was like, well, I want to go back to HR. You are the HR lead of this company. I'm not sure what kind of role I want to fulfill, but I want to do something related to culture, well-being, something like that. And then she decided me to give you an opportunity, and then we craft my first role in HR together. So I got to pick the title, I got to pick the responsibilities, and I got to draft the job description. And from there, it was like a rocket. So I spent 9 months there. After months I left, then I went to a company called Service Source, where I spent another 6 months as a HR coordinator. And then from Service Source, I got the opportunity at LinkedIn as a recruitment coordinator. So pivoting into recruitment, and then recruitment coordinator, recruiter. And then from recruiter, I became a recruitment marketing and employer brand program manager because of my passion for content. That was probably the main reason: content, communication, and marketing, which usually you would not find a lot of recruiters with that passion. So it was a good mix of skills. So that's how it happened. Parts of it were planned. Parts of it happened because, let's say, of my hard work in the restaurant serving customers. That's why the HR leader decided to give me the opportunity, because she trusted me, and part of it was luck. So a mix of everything.
Very, very humble from you to say that was, kind of lucky. But I would say it was hard work. Nobody survived here over 10 years. I can tell from my experience, nobody survived here only 10 years by lucky. It's hard work. It's hard work. Fair play to you. By the way, a fun fact, I work for NCI currently. So, and the NCI, if I'm not wrong, according to stats, in Ireland, is the biggest college in terms of HR role.
Wow.
Yeah, so many of HR professionals in Ireland, they actually, are formed on NCI.
They have a good program. I did their master. Well, I enrolled in the masters and I did the first year, but I didn't pursue the master, the title. I'm not so big on titles. It was more about gathering the knowledge and building the network. And I didn't have the money to pay, I don't know what was extra 5,000 to do the master, something like that. So I was like, sorry, but I can't.
But but you got a great experience. So it also entitles you as a master in this role, in this field, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. I knew I wasn't going to work in HR for that long, so I was like, what does really make sense here for me to do? So that's how I ended up there.
Also, could you share to us, with us, sorry, how LinkedIn has transformed the way you identify and connect with potential opportunities and also candidates? Because again, you are responsible for advertising LinkedIn, right? As a great place to work and everything. But
Exactly.
also, how can you use that as your tool for find the candidates? And also, how can you find like potential opportunities? Do you have any tips for sharing to us in these two perspectives, please?
So let's start with the potential opportunities. You mean as someone that is looking for someone like me and you, right? They're looking for a
Yes,
job. Okay.
looking for a job.
Um, so first things first, LinkedIn is a social network platform. Probably everyone knows that. And the difference is that it is a place where professionals meet online and have conversations and share knowledge. That's what I would say. And in the past, it was very static. You would have your CV there and all your experiences, and you wait for people to reach out to you, or you would apply for jobs and you would share and use your LinkedIn profile to do so. And then with time, it evolved to be a social network platform where real conversations happen about all sorts of topics, usually surrounding the professional environment. Now, for folks living in Ireland, the what they say the penetration of LinkedIn in Ireland, there are millions and millions, no, but probably over 2 million people using LinkedIn in Ireland, and I
Wow,
think the workforce in Ireland, the adult workforce, is around 2 million, 2.5 million, something like that. So
that's
a lot of
incredible.
companies and people are using LinkedIn in Ireland. It would be a missed opportunity if you don't use that tool correctly. The basic first, which is have a complete profile, right? So when we are using different social media platforms, when we are using different channels, when we are navigating through different profiles, once you jump into someone's profile, there's something that goes to your mind that sometimes maybe you don't even realize, which is, can I trust this? First of all, is this profile real? Can I trust this person? And can I trust this person to solve the problem that I'm going through at this specific point in time? So first of all, you need to showcase that you are a real profile. Picture, banner, experiences, descriptions of your roles, being active, and have a really looked after and complete profile, because that's going to stand out. Believing it or not, there are a lot of people that do not do that. So already you be differentiating yourself. Then after you have your complete profile, it's about engaging with your network,
Right.
and your industry niche. So as a professional, it's good practice to have an objective. When I talk to folks in my mentorship sessions, I usually say, what organizations have mission statement? I say, what is
Wow.
your mission statement? So I would say, Alex, do you know your mission statement? What problem do
My
you want? Yeah, what problem are you here to solve?
wow,
What pain?
that's a great question. It's very connected to what I've seen in college as a ikigai, the Japanese word. What problem I'm solving to the world or to
Yeah, to the world. Why should people go to you for?
um,
What should people go to you for?
communication? I love communication and I love connecting with people. And I think communication as my strength, I also can help people towards it. Everything that I got um, in life was because I verbalized it, right? I communicated my needs to the universe. That's a personal belief, okay? Usually, when I want something, I have to throw that to the world. Um, I need that and I want that. So I work hard towards this direction. The second thing, I communicate to the right people. For example, when I'm in trouble or when I'm in a situation that it's a hard time and I don't have like a clear vision, I try to ask people who are more experienced than me and passed by similar situation, and I ask for advice to those people. Why I don't ask to my best friend or to someone close to me? Because usually they're gonna give me actually a biased vision and a biased opinion, right? So I rather to have like the honest opinion, like the opinion that matters, and I try to filter that in the best way. So worked really well with me my whole life because of the communication. And like, believe it or not, but I was so shy. Early age, between um, my 17 to 19 years old when I joined the Navy, because I
Wow.
used to work for the Navy.
Wow.
Then was the time that I got better with my communication, because the Navy shaped that form on me, like, and I learned how to communicate better. um, that's why also I've chosen marketing as my career. The most thing that I love in marketing is the communication, because I find interesting how brands can communicate to you, how can show up their message, what they want to tell you, and I
Hmm.
connect with brands that also I feel, a good and clear communication. So that I think that's my mission: communicate to people, help them to communicate better, and also improve my communication. Doesn't matter in any language, whether Portuguese, Spanish, or English. I think it's not, and I tell that to my friends who are learning English. Sometimes it's not even if you have a broken English or not, but make yourself clear what you want, what you need. Because when I was learning English, for example, um, for many situations, my English was like terrible, was shit. But I could communicate what I wanted, and I got what I wanted because of I made my body language, I made myself clear with this. So I believe communication is my strength. Yeah. Very interesting
Okay.
question, by the way. Strong question.
Um, okay, so it seems that we have work to do, right? Because
Okay.
if we were going up a lift and you were, meeting a big person from a company that you want to work for, and they would ask that question, you might have 30 seconds until they get to the floor that they want, right? And
Sure.
the thought process that you are going through is the initial thought process to come up then with what we call mission statement, right? And understand and say in a few words, what am I here for as a professional? What kind of
Wow.
problem do I want to solve? And they might change. I love what Simon Sinek says about infinite mindset, right? We say growth mindset. Simon Sinek pushes one step further and say we should have infinite mindset, which means that if we have our mission statement clear, if we know what we are here for, regardless of the role that we are doing, we will be able to better find opportunities to get closer to the mission statement. So, for
Right.
example, for me, my mission statement today is amplify the voices of brands and individuals, amplify their digital footprint or amplify their voices, right? As a marketeer, I do that for my organization. In my podcast, I do that with my guests. When I was a recruiter, it was about amplifying the voices of the candidates, and so on, right? So on my next role, it could be a recruiter, it could be a marketeer, it could be, I don't know what role it could be, but then I would ask my question: Am I close to my mission, my overall mission in this role? Would I get opportunity to do that, to amplify voices, to give people opportunity? And obviously, depending on the role, the company, etc., you might shift a little bit.
Right.
But it's a really interesting question because not a lot of people think about it. And if you know that going into an interview, if you tell the hiring manager that you actually have a mission statement and that's what you're here for professionally in this world,
Wow.
you will impress them.
That's
Um,
a great insight, by the way, because um, again, I only heard that in college, right? But I never had an interview or any situation that someone asked, "What are you here for? What's your mission?"
yeah,
But I would say 30 seconds. If you were really determined, you'll do it, and
Yeah.
like I think you cause like a strong impact.
Yeah. They're not gonna
Straightforward.
ask though. That question won't come. So you have
Okay.
to proactively say. So let's say they are talking about whatever they ask a question. Tell me a little bit about yourself,
Wow.
and you can plant your mission statement whatever way suits you best. So let's say for me, for example, I'd say I love to start that answer stating my mission statement here, which is to amplify the brands of organizations and individuals through content, right? And within that, I had opportunity to do that since my early days when I was a lawyer, even working in the legal world. I was always the one that ended up with the role that was communication related, that was project related, and it was always about that amplification of voice, amplification of projects. And then I tell all the story tied down to that mission statement up until the situation that I am today and applying for that role. So you will have to find the gap to share that with the hiring manager. But continue then on the LinkedIn journey. You have your profile that is complete. You understand what you're here for as a professional, your
Nice.
mission, your vision, what industry you want to operate, and what roles you want to apply for. So that's when you will leverage other professionals in similar roles, similar industries, professionals that inspire you in the platform to connect, to share knowledge, to share content. And you can do this in a variety of ways. The easiest way to start being active on LinkedIn is by the content that other people create. So, Alex, I'm an avid-ish creator, let's say once, twice a week. You are early on the LinkedIn game. So you're going to show up on Leon's profile often. Every time that he posts something nice, you're going to go there, you're going to comment, you're going to add value.
Sure.
And you're going to select 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 people, whatever suits your cadence and your capacity,
Nice.
to engage and engage meaningfully. So it's not about, oh, thank you very much for that post, or that post was great. It's about that post was great because give the insight. I didn't enjoy that post so much because, oh, that post remind me of an article that I read. Here's the link. And then maybe one day Leon is
Wow.
gonna send you a connection request, or you gonna send a connection request to Leon, but he knows you because you've been engaged with his content. So the second question that I ask people, let's say, oh, I want to have a role in marketing, in Ireland or whatever.
Yeah.
I say, who are the top 10, top 5, top 20 marketing influencers in Ireland today creating content on LinkedIn? Do you have that answer? If they don't have, there you go. That's your homework. Look for them, look how active they are, learn from them, learn why they have engagement, engage with them, and then eventually you're gonna become part of that tribe that is, thought leader tribe that is driving the conversations on LinkedIn.
I got a lot of homework to do afterwards after this episode. After this episode, I never considered, to be honest, to make that list. I know few creators, but internationally, saying not specifically in Ireland.
Mhm.
Um, but what you're saying makes so much sense because, again, if you want to penetrate in this tribe, you have to engage. You have to be aware also what they're doing so right, and you can replicate it, right?
Exactly.
Um, that's really interesting site, and I never considered, honestly.
S-
And I think many people as well who are listening and that's gonna connect with us here. They don't consider that as well because we don't think it's not a normal thing, a logical thing usually. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
And LinkedIn makes that job easier. So LinkedIn has the top LinkedIn top voices. I think the first one was in 2014, maybe. So it's a prize that LinkedIn gives to people that are active on the platform that are driving conversations. So LinkedIn recognize them with, Instagram used to have the blue check. It still does,
Yeah.
but people are buying it now, which
Oh
for
yeah.
me, I mean, it doesn't make a
It
lot of
was
sense. Then Twitter will have Twitter Blue, and LinkedIn has the little blue in, meaning that you are a top voice, you're an influencer. Could be that you're an influencer because you're an artist, like Snoop Dogg joined LinkedIn and he straight away has a badge, or because you are
Oh,
someone that drive conversation. And the nice part about it is that you don't have to have a huge following, you don't have to have a huge amount of engagement. You just have to drive nice conversations, be constant, be consistent, and be present on the platform. And LinkedIn could award you with an influencer badge in your industry. So top voice in marketing, top voice in remote work, top voice in HR, top voice in diversity and inclusion, top voice in sales. So I would start my journey from there if you don't know who the creators are in your industry and in your country. And that's going to give you a massive overview since 2014 of folks that have been creating on LinkedIn and that LinkedIn consider top voices. And it's nice because some of them, or the majority of them, are regular folks like you and me. They don't have millions of followers. They just have nice conversations on the platform. That's what I would start from. And then from there, after you start commenting, after you start connecting, after you start engaging with folks from your industry, your niche on LinkedIn, maybe it's time for you to start sharing your ideas, right? So you can be a content curator at the start, so sharing content from other creators, the creators that you love, articles that you read. I know people that are very good curators on LinkedIn, and they even became top voices because of that, especially in tech, let's say. Or you can become a LinkedIn creator, and then the ideas, the thought-provoking ideas, the content are all going to come from you. So starting from scratch, writing an article, creating a video, which is what I find probably more exciting of all of the options there. And again, I'm saying, not again, but I'm saying all of this. It takes
yeah.
time. For example, I don't have time to do it all. I don't have time to share love on LinkedIn, as I say. The max that I do these days is to like, and that's it. Just because there's so much happening on my life right now, with my work, with my baby, with my family. So I'm focusing on creating and not focusing so much on giving love. And I can see the impact on my engagement, for example, is much, much lower from the times that I was actually active and sharing comments and adding value. So if you can do it all, do it, because in the long run, it's going to pay off.
Wow. Great to hear that, actually, because you see, recently I attended to a networking event at Microsoft.
All right.
And they did mention that networking, it's all about you treat it like a plant. You
Mm,
plant the seed, and then you have to look after every day, water it from time to time. And I think one interesting thing, and that caught my attention, is because many people consider that, oh, okay, I'm going to connect with this person and ask for a job straight away. It doesn't work like that, because it's very awkward from my perspective. It's embarrassing. I would be embarrassed, to be fair. Just treat a person as interest, not a real connection. Not nothing. Why
yeah.
should you refer me if I never built a trust? I never built like a relationship, a close relationship, or you know. Um, that was interesting during the speech. One of the speaker, when he said that, and he mentioned that because um, he said, when you promote this event here at Microsoft, many people come to us instead of making questions how to improve your interview performance or something like that. They ask straight away for a job. So and he said it's not like that, doesn't work like that, and never will, because nobody gonna refer you straight away to an opportunity
It's
in
hard.
the company, without knowing you, without know why they should refer you.
Yeah. It's hard, but it's possible. But I got referrals before from people that didn't know me, but you have to be, again, you have to be sharp on why you want. You have to be clear that person that is referring you, because again, oftentimes, especially when it's hard to hire, organizations would offer a bonus for folks that are referring talent, because it's hard to hire good talent, right? There's a war for talent. Ireland is such a small market, and there's not enough talent to fulfill all the roles here, right? So there's the called referral bonus. So there is an incentive for employees to refer people that they think will be a good fit for the company, maybe a good fit for the role. I don't recommend that approach as well, but I think there is a scale of approaches and a strategy that you can have, depending on where you are on your journey of applying for a job, right? So if you have a lot of time, ideally you build your LinkedIn profile, you create your presence, you will build your network, you might go to events and etc. Something similar maybe to what you're doing. So when the job opportunity comes, let's say there's something on LinkedIn, you're gonna come to me. I'm gonna use this as an example all the time. You're gonna come to me and say, "Hey, Leon, I saw that opportunity. Okay, I know you, I know your work. We spoke. I'm happy to refer you," because you would have to write something. I would have to write something about you on the referral notes, right? That's one of the challenges. Now, let's say you joined LinkedIn a month ago. You don't have a network. You're barely creating content. You just started that journey, and suddenly there is the job of your dreams on LinkedIn, on Microsoft, on Google, at Google. Don't let that stop you, but be sharp, be concise, and be objective around what you need from that individual, and be a good storyteller. So have a good pitch to tell your story. Who are you? Where are you coming from? What you did until getting to that message? Why you're messaging that person specifically? And why it would be great to get the help of that individual, right? And try. Right? What does that say? You miss all of the shots that you don't try. So if that's your only way to try to get a referral for that opportunity, go and try it. But be polite, and understand that if someone is answering you, they are giving part of the time. So be polite, be humble, be thankful, and be honest and to the point, and try. Let's see what happens.
That's great. Leon, swapping a little bit,
Let's
talking
go.
about now one thing that one of our followers on Instagram sent to me. What people usually neglect about applying for a job and interview preparation? What do you see that is a big mistake usually people make?
Big mistake. There are so many. Working as a recruiter and going through CVs, the recruiters watching this will probably relate. I want to say in some cases 80-90% of the applications are not relevant. Are not relevant because people are not paying attention to the job description, because they didn't tailor the CV to that opportunity.
Well, that's a higher number.
Yeah, the majority of the applications in general are it's hard. It's hard, and if it's a high volume role that got a lot of applications, it gets even harder. When you're talking about more senior positions, there's another challenge to solve. But high volume roles, they tend to bring a lot of applications, and quantity rarely is quality when it comes to recruitment. So when it comes to applying for a job, they don't understand enough what is required and how their skills will match that opportunity. So oftentimes some organizations will have what we call basic skills or minimal skills that you need to apply for that opportunity or to be considered for that opportunity. So you need to look and see what is actually needed. Other organizations have a different approach, and they're a little bit more broad and, let's say, more inclusive. So understand the organization that you're applying for, make sure that your CV meets that criteria, and then apply for it. It takes time, and it takes effort, and it is like a job. Looking for a job is like a job. Then going through the interview process, it's 100% everything's about preparation. The job description is your friend, company page is your friend, company page on LinkedIn is your friend, people that work at that organization. It's another opportunity for you to reach out to hiring teams, hiring manager, people that work there. I just want to understand a little bit about what it's like to work there. I'm part of the recruitment process. How are you enjoying it? What are the highlights? What are the downsides? Glassdoor. There's one, what is it called? Fishball. I think you get a lot of honest feedback there as well. And just do your research to make sure that you are making the right decision, and do your research. So when you are speaking to the hiring team, they understand your passion, why you're applying for that organization, and why you're applying for that role. It's not only about the organization, but it's about that team. An organization has hundreds of different teams. When the hiring managers intervene you, they want to feel special, and they want to feel that you want to work for that team specifically. So you need to have that story as well. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm still surprised at the high number of, the applications that are so wrong. And so
Yes.
I work in the careers team at NCI, but I work with the social media there. However, is within the careers section, the sector itself. So basically, I have seen some cases where our career advisors, they always say that to the students, pay attention to the job description, try to match the skills with the job description, and also the headline where we was like are about, who you were. Try to match it as well with the job description as much as you can, just because you said basically they highly advise for you do the best that you can in terms of tailoring your CV for each job application. You can't use the same CV for different job applications, and mostly because of this reason, where recruiters ended up looking at your CV and say, "Oh, no, this is not the person that we're looking for." I'm impressed actually with this number, because that shows many people are not interested to tailor their CV description.
So just one thing. I think your mic is failing a little bit on my ears. I'm not sure if it's for everyone there.
Okay, so
but
it's breaking up.
Yeah, but just a little. I can still understand you, but that's just some pop noises there. Yeah, and the fact that the thing about that number is it's actually a positive number, because if the majority of the folks are not paying attention, that increases your chances if you do, right? But again, it has to be the right role for you. Not saying that you have to meet 100% of the criteria, but it has to be within your industry, or you have to showcase that you work to develop the skills that they are looking for. I was guilty in the past of applying for roles just because they were asking the languages that I spoke. So, oh yeah, Portuguese sales director, let's go. I want to apply for that. And then that brings frustration as well, because you apply and then you get rejected. You apply and you get rejected. So fewer but better applications. I know cases of folks that were laid off, for example, and they were very, it was actually beautiful to watch, very conscious about their strategy, taking time, networking, going through mentoring, tailoring the CV, understanding about the role. And, some of them apply only for two companies and got one job. So 50% success rate. That's amazing, because especially during that economic crisis, it was very impressive to see that happen. But again, they had the time to focus on and the means, so you have to do and work with what you have.
That's impressive. Leon, can you tell us, like from your experience and also your perspective, what's the best advice and the best way how you can build a network how can we connect to people, whether online, and also for those, because I got this question on Instagram. Someone asked me, I found interesting, how to connect if I'm shy, how to connect to someone in a career fair, or how can I approach someone, because I'm strange and I'm gonna be in a different environment. How can I approach and build that network, face to face? Also on LinkedIn, you just said it's not only about connecting with people, adding people on your profile, following the person, but also adding value. Well, how can you approach in a right manner, or show that you're interested to connect to this person, and share experiences and so on. Even again, if you are already employed, I consider that nowadays actually networking is like the most important thing when you are looking for a job, or if you are transitioning to a new role. I was reading an article that 85% of the jobs they are fulfilled through networking. So that's a really high number as well.
Yeah. By the way, your mic is still breaking up. Yeah, maybe plug it and unplug it. I'm not sure what happened.
The connection. Sorry.
Connection, maybe. Hopefully the guests are hearing okay. The guests, no, the public. Right. So networking. And this is coming from someone that is what they call an introvert, social introvert. So I like people, but I am an introvert at the same time. On LinkedIn, for folks that are maybe introverted, are a little bit shy, it is probably the best place to start, right? There's no face-to-face interaction. You have time to think. You don't have to reply messages straight away. You can even use different AIs to help you cater the message. Even LinkedIn has its tools in development now, and you can leverage that to create conversations. But networking with time should be about adding value. And later in the game, maybe you want to get something out of that relationship. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But networking is about connection. It's not about asking favors. That's what I would say. Even though we would love to, and honestly, if someone comes to me and say, because I've been on the other side, Leon, do you mind doing a referral for that role? If the profile is complete, if I see that someone is putting the work, I see they are creating content and they're like, oh, I want a referral. I want to connect with you, whatever. You can see the work of someone when you look at their profile. I'll be like, okay, fair enough. By the way that you are presenting yourself to the LinkedIn world, I would be able to make a referral, right? So that's what I would say. Start with LinkedIn. You don't have to leave your home, and you have access to, I think, 930 million folks. That's the amount of people that are on LinkedIn today. Find your niche. Find the conversations that you enjoy and add value to those individuals, and eventually start connecting with them on LinkedIn. And I'm sure that based on that behavior that you're going to have on LinkedIn from now on, you're going to get invitations as well from people that are they admire what you're doing, they're inspired by what you're doing. That's going to happen organically, right? Now at events are, I'm not sure if I can answer that. Events are tough. At events for a shy person, listen, if you are shy and you are shy, well, there's shy, there's introvert. I'm not sure what you're meaning there, but then, and I'm riffing now, right? Because I don't have an opinion. I never reflected about that, and thanks for that. But I would say clarity on your mission, your vision will help, right? In case someone say, oh, Hey Leon, what you do, who you work for. So you're able to be brief, to be objective, and to impress folks that way, because we tend to speak more than we think, and we don't pay enough attention to that. So clarity on what your mission and your vision is, and why you're here, what kind of pain you're here to solve for. I think that's a step number one. So a bit of self awareness and self reflection. Then I would set a list probably of objectives that I want to achieve in that networking event or meeting. Am I able to access the guest list? How many people do I really want to talk to? So if I'm on the shy side, let's say my goal might be to, in this event, particularly today, I want just to speak to two. And if I speak to two, that's going to be great. If they're going to be meaningful conversations, we're going to exchange our contact and LinkedIn profile, and then I can move on. Then start building up. Okay, so the next event I'm going to speak to three. The next event I'm going to speak to four, and develop that muscle of going up to people, presenting yourself, shaking hands, feeling awkward sometimes with the silence and with conversations not clicking, and feeling
Yeah.
okay with this conversation is not working for me. I'm gonna move on. Really nice to meet you. But to develop that muscle, you have to go to events and you have to explore.
Well, that's an interesting point of view, and was very impactful when you said. Can you say that again? Network is about connection.
It's about connections, not about asking favors. Because
Yeah.
everyone is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to this great event because there's gonna be a lot of employees from Google. And I'm sure I'm gonna get a job opportunity from there. Okay, don't go. You might, but
Sure.
you might make friendships while you're networking, right? You might meet very nice people. You might meet the partner of your life. Who knows? So just go to connect, to learn from others, learn how to ask questions, let other people talk, because we love to talk and be the center of attention. So explore that and utilize the fact that you are shy, that you're an introvert, that you're probably more comfortable with silence, to let other people talk and ask meaningful questions. And that's actually very very powerful tool.
That's interesting. Thanks for telling that. Folks, I think I got a message here. People are saying, actually, it's fuzzy in my audio. I'm really sorry. I'm not sure if it's because my connection, as I can see, those are right here. Please just send in the chat if it's still fuzzy, so I can try to see
It
what's
is.
going on.
Would you try to connect and reconnect again, or use?
Yeah, let me just turn off. But I'll try to make up one more question for you before I try to set up this.
Go ahead. Okay.
I'm really interested to know, because that's you asked me in the beginning. Now it's my turn. What inspired you to join HR? Like what was the thing that brought you to HR?
To HR. So HR was about people. I thought that I had a very poor understanding of what HR was. So it was about. I said I'm good with people. HR is the department of an organization that looks after the employee experience, the hiring, the firing, the promoting, the developing, the engagement, the wellness. So I was like, seems to be a nice place to be, but I soon realized that HR wasn't for me. At least parts of the path of HR, they are, for me, they were painful, right? Because it's not all joy, right? So people go through problems, through challenges, and we are very oftentimes, and most of the times, we are not aware. But the HR department is, right. That's where people go to solve issues that they have with their managers, with their colleagues, to share personal things that they are going through, health problems. And for me, I didn't have a method or a way to filter that through. So it was becoming heavier and heavier. And that wasn't exactly what I'm here in this world for, to solve for those issues at scale. I can chat to a friend, to someone a specific point in time, come to me, please. But to work for, massive organizations that have thousands of employees and hundreds of problems, and they come in and out of your office, it wasn't exactly for me. So that's why I pivot into recruitment, and which was a little bit more bubbly, fast paced, intense, but I would say with better energy, in my opinion. So you're talking to candidates; they want to be the best version of themselves. There is pressure from the business for sure, but that's okay. And that's where I got the opportunity to work with communication then and pivoting to communication. But to answer your question, HR was about people. I'm still about people, but because I know how I can solve some of the pains that people and organizations go through, I can say I'm about people, but now I work in marketing.
That's nice. Thank you. My last question, because we're now reaching 1 hour of our live here. Can you just share to us 3 takeaways, about utilizing LinkedIn to penetrate in the international marketing, considering that we have like listeners from all over the world. If that person wants to join the British markets, let's say, or the Portuguese market or the Spanish market, what's your advice? The 3 takeaways, like most important things to start.
That puts me on the spot now. Let me try. As I said at the start, basics first. Folks, look at your LinkedIn profile. And is it complete? I'm going to add one thing there. Is your LinkedIn profile complete? And does it reflect you as an individual, as a professional? So I hope that when people look at my LinkedIn profile, Leon, they're going to see Leon, the professional, but they're going to see maybe that I have a little bit of sense of humor, that I like to have fun, that I enjoy video content creation, that I have multiple roles across the globe, that I like to help people. So does your LinkedIn profile reflect you as a whole? This is something that your CV cannot do, but your LinkedIn profile can. So utilize it to its full potential. Photo, banner, rich media on your job descriptions, featured section, turn your LinkedIn profile to creator mode, use your hashtags so people know what you're talking about. So have that as a really strong base, because worst case scenario, that's going to work as a landing page for you 24/7. People are going to go in and out of your profile while you are at sleep, which is something that is different from the CV, right? You have to send your CV. Your LinkedIn profile is there. It's your landing page. It's your personal brand. And if your LinkedIn profile is bad built, that's your personal brand. If it's good built, that's your personal brand. You don't have an option. The brand is there, and you can either take the ownership or let other people make assumptions. So that's really important. That's number one. Then depending on the market that you want to break in, so let's use a different example than Ireland. So let's say Spain. Start looking for what's happening in Spain, what's happening with the Spanish creators. So Spain, and that's the question that I would ask: Spain and HR, Spain and marketing, Spain and civil engineer, Spain and sales. You have to know the end, right? So you know what circles and conversations you have to be part of. And then it's about, again, engaging with the Spanish content creators, with the Spanish hiring managers. Hopefully you have a list of organizations that you want to work in Spain, and I'm gonna make my answer long, and that's probably more than 3 takeaways. But hopefully you know the companies that you want to work for, and then you can start connecting with the folks that are part of those companies. That's probably number 2 then. What are the companies that you want to work for in the country, and start connecting with the folks from those organizations. And then number 3 would be, so you have your LinkedIn profile complete. Amazing. You are now connecting with folks in Spain that work for the organizations they work for. Fantastic. What's next?
Do you find a
Yes.
good strategy maybe to message the person, or like if you since you made the list as you said before, would it be a strategy to message those professionals?
You want to find first the folks that are already active on LinkedIn, creating
Right.
content, commenting actively, so you have an opportunity to engage with them outside of them being a connection. Because messaging could be tricky, especially if folks are not active. You don't know if they're gonna read in 1 month, 1 year. Some people don't use
Okay.
LinkedIn that much. So find folks that are active, that are using the platform already. Those are the folks that you want to have conversations with. Those are the folks that you want to engage with their content, right? They are the folks that are where you want to be. And the third one, I'm trying to think something that is easier and require less energy than creating content. Because creating content, if you are at that place, that's a great thing. But if you are not, I don't know. What would you say?
One thing that I used to do before creating content was actually trying to engage with the contents and resharing, so I could save my time this term. But because even Mariana on your episode with Leo and Professionals, she said that it's a small way how to create content when you engage with the person and also leave your comment and reshare. But the main thing that worked for me in terms of building connections was messaging actually, and I asked people for having a coffee. With no interest to get an opportunity or a favor, whatever. My main goal was actually to understand what this person knows and what can I understand and get insights. Because again, I was in the Navy and I've been studying marketing, in a business world. So I've been transitioning, and then everything was new for me. So I had to get insights from people more experienced than me and understand how is the market is also how is marketing, which is totally different from Brazil. And I never worked with marketing in Brazil, but I know some creators there. So I've used in this way. That was my strategy. And
I love
kind of
that. And there is no right and wrong. Right, messaging is effective as well. I'm someone that I not only answer every message, but most of the people that connect with me and they don't send a message, then I'm the one that try to ignite that conversation and say, "Hey, Alex, thanks for the invite. Hope it's all good." And so if it doesn't happen from them, I'll make sure it happens from my side. But something came to mind around events, right? You can find events on LinkedIn that you can join. And I don't know if you remember Clubhouse, but LinkedIn has its version of Clubhouse, which are audio only events that happen on LinkedIn. They are a fantastic way for you to increase the reach of your personal brand. Because let's say I'm going to create an audio event about career, so you're literally in the same room, audio only, with Leon, and sometimes there might be top folks like Simon Sinek, Stephen Bartlett, Richard Branson, and oftentimes you have opportunity to ask questions. You can see other people that are in that event, so that's already a conversation starter. And you could say, "Hey Leon, I saw that you were at the Alex audio event. Love your profile, would love to connect," whatever it is. So it's a great way to network and to amplify your brand as well. So look for LinkedIn audio events.
That's great. I didn't know that. I knew about the lives and everything, but I didn't know about the audio events. I'll have a look because eventually I can create something like that as well.
Wow,
thank you.
100%.
Leon, for wrap up everything, folks, please follow Leon and Professionals on Spotify. He's a great digital creator. I became a big fan of him since the episode that I listened which was with Mariana. I'm now
nice.
trying to catch up with the other ones. Actually, what caught my attention from you, Leon, is because you're very charismatic, and also when I connected with you on LinkedIn, you were very, empathetic, and I said, "Oh, I love early creators and everything." So thank you so much for the support. Thanks for being here. I'm honored because I learned a lot with this conversation. I'm sure the listeners as well. And the other point, also folks connect with him or follow him on LinkedIn. How is our LinkedIn? Is Leon Nussbaumer? Is there any at?
Leon Nussbaumer. So you can find at Leon Nussbaumer all together. But probably if you search for Leon that works at LinkedIn, there are probably 2 or 3. So probably easier to do it like that.
There we go. Do you want to leave any other special message in terms of advice and careers for?
Oh, I think there are plenty
listening.
there. You know, the way that people can only remember 3 takeaways. Maybe that's the reason that you try to make me condense my message there. So
Sure.
rewatch the episode wherever you want, or I'm sure Alex is gonna put up some nice video clips as well.
Oh yes, I'm going to upload that on YouTube. I'm going to stay there, and this episode is going to be uploaded on Spotify as well for everybody. So it's access, and
Oh, nice.
the clip's going to be uploaded this week during the week, right?
Oh,
And-
let's go.
Now, for ended up our episode, we have usually I play with the guests, in terms of just ice breaking, making easy questions. Who is Leon behind the scenes, like out of work? So let's go. It's like a ping pong, right? I'm gonna make some quick questions, and you'll just say whatever comes to your mind. Like, what's your favorite movie, Leon?
Leon the Professional.
Your favorite movie?
I'm just saying
Your favorite movie?
movie. Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah. Leon.
Leon the Professional.
Yeah, Leon the Professional. Leon el Profesional. That's where I took the name from. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought we were joking.
No.
Sorry. Okay. That wasn't. I never seen this movie. Okay. Leon, do you practice any sport? What's your favorite sport?
Not at the moment. Parent is my sport, but when I practice is just weightlifting at the gym.
Oh wow. Okay. You're a bodybuilder. So, and Leon, if you had a big banner, to show your message, your personal message to the world, what message is that?
You die sooner than you think.
Wow. You die sooner than I think. I have to reflect on it.
It's the Stoics used to reflect about death all the time, right? Makes you appreciate life.
You follow the Stoicism?
Yeah. All of that stuff, yeah.
Nice. Leon, once again, thank you so much for your participation. Folks, please follow Leon
Pleasure.
on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Apologies for being late right on the button, but
no, it's my pleasure to have you here. And once again, folks, subscribe my channel, follow socials as well, and at Alex Marks. If you guys have any questions, don't ask me anymore. Ask Leon now. I'm gonna put in the description his links. You guys can connect with him and follow him there. And I'm sure he actually gonna it's not every day, but most of the days you post something on your page, right?
Maybe 1 to 3 times per week, depending on how much I planned in advance.
And I'm sure gonna be very helpful to everybody. Once again, thank you so much for being here with me and for your time.
Congratulations on the show. Best of luck on your journey of being an early creator, and I hope that you are soon successful and you achieve whatever you set yourself to achieve too. And you need to work on your mission statement. So hopefully on the next time that we have a conversation, you're able to line that out in 10 seconds.
Absolutely. Actually, I have here my notes, the homework to do after this episode. Thank you, Leon.
All right.
See you,
folks. Thank you, everybody. See you later.
Thank you, guys. See you later.